Hello, this is Jess. We're coming to our next chat session, number 37. It's December 7th, 2017, chat session number 37. I do believe that on chat session 36 I said the date was December 5th, but it was the 6th. And so now we're back on track. Today is December 7th, Thursday night. Chat session number 37, and here we go. Tidbits of history. 1941, on this date. Here we go. At 7:55 a.m. Hawaii time, a Japanese dive bomber bearing the red symbol of the rising sun of Japan on its wings appears out of the clouds above the island of Oahu. A swarm of 360 Japanese warplanes followed, descending on the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor in a ferocious attack. The surprise attack struck a critical blow against the U.S. Pacific Fleet and drew the U.S. irrevocably into World War II. The American contribution to the successful Allied war effort spanned 4 long years and cost more than 400,000 American lives. Yeah, it's history. I mean, it's amazing. Just those many years back from, it's not so far away. As it is getting buried in the layers of history and time, but this was a pretty big event, and it actually did facilitate an end to our last World War. Once we entered, I think that it was evident that we had the capacity to sacrifice as a country, to come together, to rally, and to suppress the evil that was in the Hitler Germans, I don't know why, I guess but Hitler was the leader, but it was the Nazis, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Horrible situation. American lives was 400,000, but overall the death toll was in the millions, with all the different countries involved. It was a horrible war. Of course, I believe every war, big or small, is horrible, but it did bring the United States into it, and with that, I think that the aggression and the different things that would have continued were halted, and the Allied effort became a success, and the war was ended. Alright, now we're going to go on to a more recent tidbit of history. 1993. Colin Ferguson opens fire on a Long Island Railroad commuter train from New York City, killing 6 and injuring 19 others. Other train passengers stopped the perpetrator by tackling and holding him down. Ferguson later attributed the shooting spree to his deep-seated hatred of white people. I mean, the guy was mental, obviously, to be able to carry out an act like that, walking through a train and randomly shooting people. Crazy, especially in New York commuter train. In trial, he first said that a white guy stole his gun, and then pinned him down and said it was him. And then he changed his story that it was another guy with the name Ferguson that looked like him and had the same hair as him. He tried all the tricks of the judicial system, but was denied Clinton. He wanted Bill Clinton to testify, and somebody else testified. It was rejected by the judge. And he was found guilty for 6 murders, and I think they said 22 other attempted murders charges, and he got 6 life sentences with no chance for parole. So anyway, that was the Tidbits in History, 1993 and 1941. Going into some other things now. Been listening to different kinds of music, and of course Rush. I always enjoy their music, but I've been listening to a little bit of Willie Nelson. Always time for that. And Avenged Sevenfold. Pretty progressive band as far as, you know, the things they do in the studio and different things. It comes out real good. I like their music. I like Dream Theater, another band that's always amazing to hear, being real good stuff. Alright, so that's the music part of it. I'm trying to not dwell on all the politics so much, but it's just amazing. Like, one side will almost predict what the other side's going to say or do. As far as, you know, the media, they're predicting what, or they're saying what they're going to say in order to maybe protect the truth. Like they were talking about the mental capacity or the mental stability of our president. And it was, I watched a program on YouTube, and they were talking about, look, we're going to show all these people this is what they're going to say, and this is the last thing they can do to try to, you know, corrupt Trump. So it was obviously a pro-Trump YouTube video, but it's crazy times we live in, that the things that happen right in front of our eyes, the obvious mix of deception from our government, and the obvious success of that, since we still are in the midst of this breakdown of this tax cut that they shoved through to get voted on. From what I can tell, it's definitely not a middle class tax cut at all. It's definitely a corporate tax cut, you know, for the rich companies, for the wealthy individuals, and that's a shame that we have all these people that, oh, Trump's for us and all this stuff, you know. And if you look at the reality of what's been passed, it's all been for big money, big business, big corporations, that kind of stuff, loopholes to keep the wealthy and to get it from our country and then not have to pay taxes on it. You know, that what is the country got to do to get people to be like, you know, that's wrong? It's just amazing that this kind of stuff is supported, and it always comes down to, oh, you're a Democrat, oh, you're a Republican, and it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with what's right and what's wrong. And if we quit looking at things politically and look at them critically, I think that if you were able to do that and put down your political ideologies for a moment, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, in the middle class, upper crust, middle class, lower class, you know, it's just the really elite that are sort of immune to all this because everything's in their favor concerning protection of their money. So, you know, it's again, stop looking at everything politically and start looking at things critically, and get an understanding of what you're looking at, not just what's shoved down your throats from one preferred news channel that you might have, or Facebook News, or Yahoo, or CBS, or NBC, or any of the Fox, MSNBC, whatever you look at other stuff. See what the balance is, and see if there's any truth that you can come to, because the media is owned by very few individuals. You'd be surprised, and they're shoveling this crap down our throats, and we're buying it. We're being brainwashed. We're being taught to think a certain way, and then everything else is wrong no matter what. If someone thinks different than us, they're wrong, and it causes this division. I think if we could just somehow take politics out of it for a second and put a critical thought process into this, it would probably stop all this stuff on its own, because the people would be like, no, we're not putting up with it anymore. We're just not. That's what it may take. There's a lot of ways of rebellion, but the first thing of a rebellion is being aware of what you're rebelling about. It's a crazy political scene that's closed all the doors to the critical process of analyzing something and getting a truth out of it. It's whatever party you're on. And I'm so glad I'm not like that. I'm able to look at something that's presented and drop all my ideologies to hear the information from more than one source, to get enough sources to where I can get a balanced read on what the truth might be. But okay, we're going to end it here. This is chat session number 37. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? I watched Thursday night football. I had picked the Saints. Falcons won, so I missed the first pick on my NFL pick for week 14, but that's okay. Have a great Thursday evening. It's around 10:45, and go Seattle.